Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Yasmina from Tbi D, and we are from Group 2. Will present about the process. The language test. Definition 1 is language testing is the practice and study of evaluating a person's proficiency in using a particular language effectively. The definition 2 is the activity of developing and using language tests. As a psychometric activity, language testing has traditionally been more concerned with the production, development, and analysis of tests. The definition 3 is in the context of language teaching and learning, assessment refers to the act of gathering information and making judgment about the language learner's knowledge of language and ability to use it. The definition 4 is this is the kind of sorting that is much preferable to the old-fashioned method of wasting lots for honor and office. The next is definition of practical language testing. Simply put, a language test is a measurement for a person's ability to use language in some way. Of course, that doesn't explain much, because language is a very complex phenomenon involving a number of different skills that interact with each other in various ways. In order to provide a definition of language testing in the context of your organization, we need to talk about which skills you would like to have. Okay, that's all from me. And the next presenter is Fransiska.
Approach to language testing. Number 1. Discrete point testing approach. Discrete point tests are built on the assumption that a language can be divided into its component parts, and those parts can be tested successfully. These components are listening, speaking, reading, writing, and various language analysis of phonology, morphology, lexics, and syntax. Integrative testing approach. This approach involves examining language in context, and as such is primarily concerned with the meaning and total communicative effect of discourse. This approach states that communicative competence is so global that it requires the integration of all linguistic abilities. Number 3. Communicative testing approach. The communicative testing approach emphasizes more on understanding and functions, such as agreeing, persuading, or inviting, that language is meaningful in communication. The communicative language testing approach is used to measure the language learner's ability to use the target language in enthusiastic. Number 4. Performance testing approach. Any assessment can be considered a type of performance when a student is placed in some context and asked to demonstrate that they know or can do in the context. Performance-based assessment believes that students will learn best when they are given the opportunity to do and demonstrate what they know according to our plans. We as teachers must pay attention to the following participants. State the overall purpose of the show, define detailed performance objective, prepare students for performance in gradual progression, use reliable evaluation from checklists or grading sheets, treat performance as opportunity to provide feedback and provide a system. Strengths and weaknesses of the language testing approach. Number 1. Discrete point testing approach. Strength. Testing of the approach can cover a wide range of material to be tested. And weakness. The test does not include the social context in which verbal communication normally takes place.
Second, integrative testing approach. Strength. First, a meaningful and communicative approach can have a good effect on student assessment. Second, produce globally minded students. Third, tests that use methods such as dictation, rating, and class tests are relatively inexpensive and easy to make. Weakness. Teachers should consider the importance of measuring skills based on specific needs, such as writing or speaking only. 3. Communicative testing approach. Strength. Realistic evaluation makes students feel they are communicating directly and feel real. Second, with this test, it can help students develop a better language. Weakness. First, at the time of the test will take up a lot of time and place, so it can make students feel bored. Second, it is not guaranteed that students will succeed in using language well when communicating in real life. Performance testing approach. Strength. First, increase learning motivation. Students will be motivated to engage themselves in data collection, conclude patterns, draw conclusions, take attitude, and deliver presentation. This will make students happy and will do their best. Second, meaningful. The assessment that we give to students will provide a meaningful and useful experience for them in the future. Third, authentic. The materials and topics we use in class are authentic, so that students can see the relationship between what they learn and the reality. Weakness. First, time consuming. For students, they need to prepare for a solve. Example, downloading information for the internet or preparing costume and property for role-playing. For teacher, need to provide guidance at every step they will go through. Example, encouraging students to create a portfolio of Aisyah. We need to check each student paper one by one every week, and when it's revision, we have to recheck it. Second, expensive. For students have to provide extra money for the show, such as costume for role play.